Welcome to Squiggle Park Dreamscape, a literacy intervention tool that is game-based and designed for students in grades 3 through 6. We at Squiggle Park are excited to share our most recent development with you. Dreamscape is brought to you by the developers of Squiggle Park. Some of you may be familiar with Squiggle Park, our initial program, which features bite-sized letter and word recognition games for students in grades pre-K through 2. Some teachers using Squiggle Park asked what a similar program would be for students who have aged out of Squiggle Park, and we're happy to say we believe we have delivered. Dreamscape is based for an older audience, beginning with students around grade 3. You see, in grade 3, students begin the transition from learning how to read to using their reading skills to learn. Back in the day, at least 10 years ago, if not more, teachers usually assumed that if students spent enough time reading, they would naturally make this transition from learning to read to reading to learn. However, more and more, educators are finding that is not the case. For students who are struggling to understand text, more structured and strategic lessons in how to comprehend are often necessary. For this exact purpose, we've developed Dreamscape. Dreamscape is intended to help students with comprehension skills, so Dreamscape focuses on levels of reading that usually require students to implement comprehension skills. We're particularly focusing on students who are in at least second grade when texts begin to increase in complexity and more well-defined comprehension skills become critically necessary. We're beginning at level H, a Fountas and Pinnell guided reading level that corresponds with second grade. But Dreamscape provides reading passages all the way from levels H through T, thereby ensuring that nearly all learners in grades 3 through 5, and even some struggling readers in grade 6 or beyond, can engage in appropriately challenging text while they play. As a teacher, you can set a student's grade level, and when doing so, students will see texts that are leveled in the grade bands shown above. In addition to ensuring that students are engaging with appropriately difficult texts, comprehension is also broken down into specific sub-skills, which will be explicitly taught and then thoroughly practiced throughout gameplay. These skills have been derived from popular curricula used in North America, and this list of skills is our introductory skill list. We consider these skills to be some of the most important. The game is designed in a way to expose students to these skills first and most often, thereby ensuring students attain mastery in these prerequisite skills before moving on to more challenging ones. We also have prepared an intermediate set of skills. Although these are intermediate skills, students at all reading levels from H through T will encounter these skills, practicing them with texts that are at appropriate reading levels. And finally, here are the most difficult sub-skills that relate to comprehension, which students will encounter in Squiggle Park Dreamscape. These skills will often be available to readers who are nearing the completion of the intervention program, which means these skills are most often shown to students who are reading some of the higher level texts. Now that you've seen a little bit about the pedagogy behind the program, let's take a look at the intervention tool itself. The program is game-based. It is a real-time strategy game designed in a way that makes it similar to highly popular games that students actually play for pleasure. In particular, it has a similar look and feel to games like Clash of Clans or StarCraft. In this game, students work to build a dwelling, which is the area shown above in the middle of the screen. To enhance the experience, students can purchase items to make their dwellings more elaborate, and they can also purchase items to prepare for battles against other students' dwellings. The battling feature allows all students in a class, school, or even in a larger setting to interact with one another. Even better, students interact with one another regardless of reading level. Even if students are reading at drastically different reading levels, they are still able to encounter one another when they explore for battle partners, which helps create a common playing field for all students in your classroom. But to purchase items, to establish one's dwelling, or to have the resources necessary to enter a battle, students must read passages, like the one shown above, and then answer associated comprehension questions. Without the resources that are gained from the comprehension questions, students can neither build nor battle. Therefore, all of the exciting elements of gameplay, the opportunities to create, the opportunity to interact with other players, these opportunities are all dependent on spending time reading and responding to text. After reading, students will encounter trivia-style questions. For the pilot, questions include multiple choice questions, selecting all of the above questions, as well as drag and drop style questions where they might need to order events. These questions often mirror the style of questions that are shown on computer-based standardized tests, making Dreamscape a great test prep activity as well as a great intervention tool. Correct answers will result in the gameplay clock being advanced forward, meaning that the more questions you answer, the more quickly that your buildings in progress will be fully constructed, and the more quickly the armies you are training will be ready for battle. So there you have it. Squiggle Park is excited to introduce its second reading intervention program, branching out of the early elementary space to also support struggling learners up through grade 6. We hope your students will enjoy honing their comprehension skills with Dreamscape as they engage in building, battle, and trivia-style experiences. For more information about the product, check out the Squiggle Park website, and we look forward to hearing about your class's experiences. Game on!